Yeah. And hello. How's everyone going? Glad to see everyone here. And we got with us today David and
Hello.
Blackheart Knight. You know,
Hey,
Blackheart.
hey, hey, how's it going?
Hey,
Yeah,
Blackheart. How you doing, man?
I'm doing quite well.
yeah. You walked in just as I pushed the live button. I did not do a intro video like I normally do. I just like, yeah, let's just push the button and let's just start talking. See what's
All
going on.
right.
Okay. I'd like to
Well,
talk about the incidents of the possible. Oh, sorry. I thought you may have to say something. I'm sorry. I thought you just wanted me to talk. I'm sorry.
go right ahead.
I was letting my inner frauditor out there for a minute. Sorry about that.
So,
So,
uh, so yeah, we're let's just shooting the bull and everything else. Blackheart Knight, how did the hurricane affect you?
I ended up going to Bainbridge. I got out of Dodge and just went straight to Bainbridge, Georgia to get out of the way. Luckily, it didn't hit my area too hard.
No, well, that's good. That's good. It didn't hit me hard as well.
well, where
But
exactly did it
It's here in
hit?
Pensacola, and I'm in the Tallahassee area. I mean, if it's not
mhm.
going to hit me that hard, it surely didn't hit you that hard.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Did it
Yeah.
did it hit the East Coast or the West Coast?
It kind of hit the uh,
It hit around the bend of the Big Bend, right around Perry.
Okay. Okay.
yeah. So the areas like Tampa uh, got hit pretty good. I do know
Well,
that yes, some areas.
the area that got hit the hardest was around the Perry area, right around where the state starts to bend.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. So
Well, in a sense, that's good. That's a lot less populated than some of the other areas it could have hit. So I guess that's good.
yeah, but it's still got a lot of people in the populated areas like Tampa. Got a good
Gosh.
bit of it. They got hit hard too. So there, I know for a fact that there are some offices out there, some businesses that cannot open right now because there's still that much damage.
Do frauditors actually fraud at hurricanes?
Oh, you know they'll get blown away.
Yeah, but I mean, they're just about as full of hot air as the hurricanes are. I was just wondering how that works.
Uh huh.
Yep, that's so true. That is so true. And I do want to take a moment and do a PSA. So we all know an election is coming up. Uh, and I always say, if you know when an election comes up and starts coming up, take time out, study the issues, study what the candidates stand for, and go out and vote often. So you know, I want to make sure everyone has that in their ears to remember to go vote and vote often. And Blackheart Mitten,
Yep.
yeah. So,
It
so
doesn't
how
matter who you vote for, but get out and vote.
and often.
Yes,
Yeah,
vote
as
as many
early as you
times
can.
vote as many times as you can, as many places as you can. Wait, you can't do that. Oh no.
But that being said, yes, do your civic duty. But part of that civic duty, in my strongest opinion, is do your homework as well. So
Absolutely.
yes, make a good informed decision. And talking about elections, recently we went through a local election over here, and one of the key uh, local election that was taking place was the sheriff's office. And our local sheriff's department had some issues that happened in the past year. Three different incidents that kind of made me wonder what kind of leadership are we seeing in that department. And yes, I took a very very active role in researching and making a decision based upon what I thought needs to happen with that agency because I did believe that there was a cultural issue. That being said, I made a decision. I voted the way I did, and I felt good. My candidate did not win, but I felt good that I did made a good informed decision on my
Well,
vote.
that's the important part. I mean, a lot of people have fought and died for us to be able to go in there and elect our own leaders, and a lot of people in the world don't have that. And that's
No, they
important.
don't.
Exactly.
And I'm hoping
Do
we
you-
still have it in 8, 10, 12 years the way we're going, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I hope we
But
have it.
do you remember a few years ago, when I said few, we were talking about maybe 90s or 80s, there was a Richard Dreyfuss movie where he was pretending to be a dictator in the
Oh
yeah.
something. Oh, what was the name of that? That was a great movie. Moon Over Parador. That was it.
Yeah. And I remember two of the characters talking about their upcoming election. And the election was for the dictator. Was it going to be the blue logo or the red logo?
Yeah.
One says, "Well, I'm going to vote blue." Yeah. One says, "I'm going to vote blue." No. This is a very democratic dictatorship. You can vote for red if you really like red. It was just, I just love that move, that little scene that kind of pops in my mind. That was a funny movie. So probably something worth the if you can find watch again. I think. And what was the name again, David? David, you there?
Yeah,
There?
sorry, had a small puppy crisis. I'm back.
Okay. Moon Over Parador. Okay, but yes, check it out if you hadn't
It's,
heard of it.
Raul Julia was great in that. He was the maneuverer of the the guy behind the scenes, the evil guy. He was so funny in that movie.
Yeah. Yes, he was.
You don't hear much about Richard Dreyfuss anymore. I wonder what he's doing these days.
Well, that's a good question. What
I
is
haven't
he
seen
doing?
Richard Dreyfuss lately. I mean, most of the movie I remember him most for was the movie Always.
Yeah, Always. And then Down and Out in Beverly Hills was good. And what was the other? There was another one that there were several that he was really good in. Oh, of course, Jaws.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Jaws. Yeah.
That was kind of his breakout role.
Mm-hmm. That's yeah. And was he in Jaws?
Yeah,
Okay.
he was the scientist.
Someone else. Okay. All right.
That movie made a lot of careers.
Yeah. Well, yes, it did. Maybe not want to get into the ocean.
Yeah, me too. I
Yeah.
remember when I was watching when Jaws first came out, the original. I was a counselor in training at a summer camp, and the kids that stayed over between sessions, they stayed in the camp, and we took everybody to go see Jaws one night. And there was a girl in the row in front of me had one of those Mondo big Coke, drinks, and the scene where the girl gets bit in half, she screamed and throws her arms up, and that entire Coke came back on my lap. That's the memory I have of Jaws.
Oh man, that sounds like a mess.
It was cold, to put it mildly.
Yes, I do remember Michael that he was in American Graffiti. That was also a movie that had Harrison Ford in it.
As the dragster, yeah, he was a drag racer.
Yes, he was.
And Cindy Williams and Ron Howard, and there were a bunch.
Yes, there was. That was a very, very good movie. If I remember correctly, his character actually was leaving for Vietnam.
Right.
In that movie, yes.
All right, here's a question for you. What TV series spun off of American Graffiti?
Ooh, that's a good. Happy Days?
Yep. Very good.
Okay.
A lot of people don't know that, but Happy Days was a direct spinoff of American Graffiti. It had a lot of the same people in it too.
Yeah, that's kind of why it popped in my head was Ron Howard.
Hmm.
So,
And I forgot. I think there might have been a reason that Dreyfuss wasn't in the TV series, but I can't remember what it is. Or maybe
was he ever in? Was he ever in the TV series?
I don't think so. I don't. Not that I remember. I maybe remember that wrong. He may have never even been considered. I don't know. It seems like I can't remember. I've slept since then.
Well, it seems like actors tend to stay either in movies or television.
Yeah, but back then they kind of did more crossover work, especially like on those shows like Love Boat or Fantasy Island, or they could show up for.
Well, shows like that though. I mean, you kind of had to when you're trying to promote a movie.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, before the internet.
Yeah.
Yes, kids. There was a time before the internet. I know it's hard to believe.
Yeah. And I'd enjoy those. Because every Love Boat always had someone different on. One of those shows that did that Fantasy Island, but I don't remember anyone being or an A-lister going in on Fantasy Island. But that show always had guest stars.
I never cared much for Fantasy Island. It was just a little too
guys,
weird.
I'm sorry, I gotta leave so early in getting here, but I just got a phone call. I gotta go help somebody out right quick.
Okay.
Yeah. But before you do leave Blackheart Night, I do have a question for you.
Yeah.
Did you hear that the Starship Enterprise has will have bidets on them? Well, it has bidets.
Has what?
Bidets.
Next. What about
bidets? Huh?
What? I didn't get the whole question. What was?
Starship Enterprise has bidets.
In the bathroom.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's how they help with the Klingons.
I'll see you guys later.
All right,
Blackheart. Take care, buddy.
Right, take care. Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
Well, I'm curious. I'm curious if we got how many people we have. We have some people watching. I'm curious what their favorite old movie is. It's kind of interesting to see.
Yeah, that's a good question. And vintage video TV, for what reason? Okay, let me put this chat up here.
Oh, by the way, hi everybody. Sorry, I haven't typed in hi to anybody yet, but hello everybody.
Yeah. Name 2 supporting actors in westerns that people can't name. That's a good question because I mean, there were tons of supporting actors that you probably seen in so many different movies, but you don't know what their names are. But you if you see their face, oh yeah, that guy.
Yeah, well, one person that got a start in westerns was Steve McQueen.
Right. Yes.
And then there's there's a whole bunch of them that were Walter Brennan got his start that way. Jack Elam, Ben Johnson was famous for being in John Wayne movies, but he was in a lot of TV shows too.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember. Man, what was that one guy's name that was always in? Oh, I can't think of his name. Oh man. Oh, Strother Martin was another one. Remember, he was in a lot of those westerns. He's the one that sounded kind of like this and was really talk funny.
It's one of those things. I would, if I saw his face, I would know exactly who you're talking about. Because it
was the guy who. This guy was the guy. He became a sportscaster. Harry Carey Jr. That's what I'm trying to think of. He got his start in westerns.
Really, that's interesting.
Yeah. And then there's a bunch of others. Stanley Price is another one. Stanley Price is one of those guys that you would recognize if you saw, but never know his name. There's a bunch of those folks. I'm trying to remember some of them. Man, Noah Barry is another one. If you remember the Rockford Files, the guy who played Rockford's dad, that's Noah Barry Jr.
Oh, okay, I do remember his face.
Dennis Weaver was in a bunch of. He was like, I think he was. What did he? Dennis Weaver played a role in Gunsmoke. He was like, oh, what was his name? Chester Good. He was Matt Dillon's assistant deputy.
Yeah,
that was Dennis Weaver, who was McLeod later on. And I'm trying to remember. Man, My brain's getting old. I can't remember all these names. This is terrible. Chubby Johnson, of course, everybody would know him if you saw him. Ward Bond, don't forget Ward Bond. He was pretty much a star, but he was in a lot of westerns too. Are we talking just TV or TV and movies?
Well, TV, movies, whatever. I mean, we're just kind of going with the flow. Personally, that's just kind of how I just wanted the be is just kind of go with the flow, kind of whatever.
Oh yeah, Michael. The Wild Bunch was a good movie. That had a bunch of people in it that were famous. I still think Steve McQueen was the coolest guy that ever lived. I'm sorry, but he was just cool. Steve McQueen was just great.
And yeah, so and here lately, talking about westerns, we're starting to see some resurgence of western movies and TV series that are actually really good.
Mm-hmm.
There's a new one with Kevin Costner.
Oh, Yellowstone is good. Yeah,
Yellowstone's good, but he actually did an actual western movie.
Really? Oh,
yes.
Oh, he did several. He did Dances with Wolves, and the one he did with Morgan Freeman. His name is flowing right out of my head.
Well, Clint Eastwood would.
What name is it?
No, he did Robin Hood with.
Yeah, but he did a western with Morgan Freeman too.
He did?
Yeah, I can't remember, and it had Robert Duvall in it too.
There's
another western actor, by the way.
But
Open Range. That's the name of it. Open Range. That was a good movie.
I may have seen it.
It also had Gene Hackman in it. Now I think about it. Gene Hackman was the bad guy in that movie.
Yeah, I remember Gene Hackman was in the one with Clint Eastwood and Morgan Freeman. And that way he was the bad guy. He was actually the sheriff. But
that's Unforgiven.
Unforgiven.
You're thinking of Unforgiven.
Yeah, I'm thinking
of Unforgiven. That was a good movie too.
Yes. But Kevin Costner this past year has released actually two movies called Horizons, Part 1 and Part 2. And I think there's going to be a Part 3 here shortly. But it's basically
I haven't been keeping up. I need to pay more attention.
Yes. I saw Part 1 and I would say watch it. It's a good movie. I need to go sit down and watch it again. Yeah. But it's a 3-hour-long movie.
All of his movies are forever. Kevin, he was talking. They interviewed him at one point, and he said that he intentionally makes if he's directing or has something to say about it, he intentionally makes all of his movies long because he wants people to be immersed in it. He wants them to get back into that world and really see what it was like. Which
yes, sense. Yeah. Develop your characters. I mean. One of the biggest criticism you can give, here's a good classic Star Wars. I mean, you get the feel that it actually went by fast. In all actuality, I would argue no. They were probably traveling in space for weeks at a time.
It's kind of interesting that Harrison Ford was actually the carpenter for. Francis Ford Coppola, who recommended him to, who's the guy that did? Come on, George Lucas. And
yes,
he was there working on something at Lucas's house, and Lucas kind of looked at him and said, "Hey, that guy kind of fills the bill for Han Solo. Hey, you want to read for this?" And he's one of those guys I respect because they take the long view of things. And Harrison Ford figured if he worked, if he was a carpenter to enough famous people, that he might get a break one day. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. He read for Han Solo and got the part just like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't even have an agent, I don't think, or if he did, he wasn't expecting anything.
Yeah, so nowadays you're not going to get your foot in the door without an agent. You have to have an agent.
Well, you never know. It still happens occasionally. Sometimes people just get one of those breaks where they get lucky.
Yeah. Yes, that's true too. That's true as well. I'll tell you now, a TV series that definitely not a western, but one that's kind of I enjoy. Only Murders in the Building.
I have not seen that yet. What is that about?
Okay, so
I mean, obviously,
well, yeah. I mean, you have three people. First, I'll start off with just basically the way they got into the show, how it got started was that three individuals. One was like a producer for Broadway, semi-retired. The other one was an actor that was in television, but hadn't done anything for like 20 years. But and the third, well, she basically was living in her aunt's apartment while remodeling it. And all three of them would listen to a particular podcaster who did murders. Well, one night there was a murder in the building, and they decided that they would just start doing a podcast about the murder. And of course, they investigate the murder. Martin Short's the producer fella, and he kind of sort of the comic relief of the three. Steve Martin, not as much of a comic relief, but he's not totally grounded because he's an actor. He's hadn't been in that area.
Well, Steve Martin is brilliant, though. That guy.
Oh yeah, he did a real good job with that with that particular role.
Well, have you ever seen LA? Have you ever seen LA Story?
I want to say I did. It's been such a long time that
that movie has more layers to it than Onion. That is one of my favorite movies ever. It's at one level, it's really just stupid, silly Martin comedy, but at another level, it is profound. It is something.
Yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. And I'll tell you, Steve Martin is a talented actor. He's a very talented actor. Thing is, I really don't know how old he is because he looks the same since from the 70s. Probably because he always had the gray hair.
I think he's in his early 80s. He's from Waco, right down the highway from me.
Yeah.
But I think he's late 70s or early 80s, if I remember right. Yeah, 79.
Okay, yes. Well, the reason I say that is because he back in the 70s, he had gray hair.
Well, he went gray real early. A lot of us do that.
Yeah.
But those of us who go gray early continue to have hair, I might add. So,
yeah. Well, that's true. I still have a full head of hair. So that's a good thing. So
unlike these other people who have no hair.
Well, it's kind of like the movie The Jerk. I'd think about that movie.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Yeah. That's a good question, Vintage. I mean, Chris Hemsworth has been playing Thor. Did they change that role? That who's playing it now?
That's right. Steve Martin was on the Dating Game. I forgot about that. There were several of them. There was Steve Martin was on the Dating Game, and was it Chevy Chase? No, it wasn't Chevy Chase. One of those kind of guys. And then, of course, there was the famous serial killer that was on the Dating Game.
Which one was that?
Oh, what was his name? I can't remember his name now. That's embarrassing.
Money?
No. That he worked at a suicide prevention center with Ann Rule of all people, the author who writes about serial killers. No, this guy's name was Rodney Acala. That's his name. That's it. And it turns out Rodney Acala may have. I mean, they haven't been able to pin a lot of these on him authoritatively, but yeah, there's a whole lot of evidence he may have killed over 100 people. And he's one of those guys. He was convicted of a couple of them, and he's in prison. I think he died in prison. He may have already died. Yeah, he died in. Hang on, I'm looking at. He died in 2021. But they're thinking he may have killed up to 100 or more women. He was truly freaky. That guy. Oh, he was scary. But he would lure girls in for a quote photography shoot. And then no one had ever seen him. When they finally caught him, he had like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pictures of teenage girls and boys. I think they had some boys in there too. And there's a lot of them they're still trying to identify.
Oh man,
it was bad. It was if they get a little more authoritative evidence, they're saying he could be the worst serial killer in the history of the United States.
Wow, that's interesting. And Vintage Video and TV did ask a good question here. Know who was the first selection to play Thor? And I really don't know. Do you know?
To play Thor?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good. You got me on that one. I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't
I
either.
want to say it's Chris. What's his name?
Chris
Hemsworth.
Hemsworth. Yeah.
But I know I'm wrong on that.
So yeah.
Was it?
I don't know.
Chris Hemsworth?
It was Chris Hemsworth.
Oh no! I do know this. Wait a minute. Wait. I do know this because he took James Bond instead. It was Daniel Craig. I knew that. I think it was Daniel Craig, if I remember right. Am I remembering the right one? Was it Chris? Oh, was it? Okay, I was close. It was Chris Hemsworth's brother. Okay, Liam, right? Is that his name? Liam Hemsworth, I think his name.
Yeah. I am. Yeah, I get so.
Hey, Stefan, ¿cómo te va?
Chris, yeah. So, okay, who was considered for?
Well, Daniel Craig was in that somehow or another. I forget exactly what, but I think Daniel Craig had a shot at it too, if I remember right.
All right, so I did ask ChatGPT, which is a great tool.
Oh, that's cheating.
Yes, it is. It is, but hey, it works. Before Chris Hemsworth was cast as Thor, other actors considered for the role include Tom Hiddleston, who actually played Loki, Charlie Hunnam. Now, if you don't know who Charlie Hunnam is, he actually was.
He was in the
Sons of Anarchy. Yeah,
Sons of Anarchy. Right.
Joshua Dallas, I do not know who that is. I'm going to have to look him up. And Sam Worthington. Now, Sam Worthington was in Horizons. Yeah, and he also played in Avatar.
Yeah, he was the guy. He was the main character in Avatar.
Yes,
he was good.
He was. Yes. So that was a. So yeah, that's an interesting question that was asked.
Is the next thing of Avatar coming out pretty soon?
I thought they did. They did.
I mean, the third one.
Oh, there's supposed to be a third one?
Yeah, it's supposed to be 2 more, I think.
That's a good question. Well,
that one I'm going to look up.
Will there be a part 3?
It's called Fire and Ash, and it will be out next year.
Okay.
What they're going to do with the story, I have no idea. But
I still, I hadn't even watched the second one yet.
It was pretty good. It was okay. It was kind of it was good. It was just not what the first one was. All right, according to this, the release date for the Avatar 3 is December 19th of 2025.
Yeah,
just in time for Christmas.
Yeah, of course. Now that's still next year, so it may change because one of the things that the movies do is that they look at what's being released at that time.
Right.
If it looks like certain movies going to be released about the same time, they might back it up or they might move it up. Just so it has a better chance of having a good opening weekend.
They were really? They were going to do a Goonies 2? I didn't know that.
Is it truly Goonies 2, or is it going to be a remake of the original Goonies?
Hopefully it'll be a Goonies 2. There's a lot they could do with Goonies. Of course, if they use the same cast, it would be Goonies go to the nursing home now. But
yes. Well, that they're talking about bringing back Married with Children.
Really?
Yes, but what they want to do is do it as an animated series, so they can actually bring the series back. In the timeline is going to be immediately after the last episode.
Well, what they should do is do Married with Children, the next generation. Like Star Trek,
Yeah. Well, you might be able to get the guy that played Bud back for that.
Christina Applegate I mean,
Christina
Applegate.
Applegate is not doing any more actual live action, but live stuff. She doesn't
Well, she
mind
has
doing
been out.
voice. Yeah, she's been sick, so she's
Oh,
trying to stay
man,
out.
when I was in college, man, I had a thing for her.
Well, I mean, yeah, yes. I mean, she's that's no one that's been in a lot of different things. At least
But
early.
then I
in her
met my
career.
wife, and she's prettier, so.
Yeah.
Then I met my wife, and she's perfect. So what can I tell you?
Okay, I have to ask Roger Watch. What did you find out? I just asked ChatGPT if ChatGPT knew you. So what did you find out, Roger Watch?
Well, ChatGPT said it was talking to Chris Ryder, and he said that you're a doctor.
Really?
No, I'm kidding.
I wouldn't be surprised. You never know.
I completely made that up. Just let's not let your rumors get started.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we don't need. Yeah, we do not need any more rumors started because a certain individual doesn't know how to be
Yeah,
truthful.
certain individuals can go jump up a stump.
Uh-huh. I mean, seriously, these individuals, how do you know they're lying? Well, their mouth's moving. Yeah.
Well, but we ought to be used to that in this election season, right?
Well, yes. I think we probably should be used to it for the last 2 years. And our friend from down under, Roger Watch, is on this stage. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, how you doing, Friday Watch?
Well, hang on. I can't handle this. I'm doing good. Thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
We can hear you. Are you working right this moment?
Yeah, I am. I'm sitting in a car yard watching $5 million worth of cars to make sure nobody pinches them.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah. And Cool Clearwater, good to see. Cool Clearwater is on.
Hey, Cool Clearwater, how you doing?
I will ask everyone when you type in the chat, please do not type in all caps. It does mess with one of our viewers' text to speech programs when you're in all caps. So if you
I need to tell Cool something real quick. Hey, Cool Clearwater, that thing you asked me about the other day on Hezekiah's program about the music, that's great. You don't need much. I mean, just go ahead and use it. That's fine. Okay.
all right.
Want to let you know.
So Friday Watch. So you having a good time, fun in Australia?
Is he there? Friday Watch, you still there? I think we lost him.
Bugger.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah, there he goes. Yeah, there he is. Okay.
Good.
So what did you?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, what did you find out from ChatGPT?
Okay, this is from ChatGPT. Now, my question to ChatGPT was, do you know who Dr. Noo's Storytime RSN is? Chat replies, yes, Dr. Noo is known for his storytelling content on platforms like TikTok and YouTube. He shares engaging stories, often focusing on personal experiences and humorous anecdotes. His style combines elements of humor and relatable themes, making his content popular among viewers. Would you like to know more about a specific aspect of his work? That is ChatGPT on you.
Well, dang. That is very, very interesting. I did not anticipate ChatGPT to actually be able to find me. I didn't think I mean, I know I got a little tiny corner of the internet, but not that big of a corner.
Doesn't say anything about you being a doctor, though.
No. Well, because it's clearly stated in my but I'm not a doctor. And it has been stated since day one that I'm not a doctor. That where my names came from was that Doc was one of my grandfather's name, and Lanu was the other grandfather's name. But of course, anticipating someone to research or read seems to be impossible to do too.
Oh my God, ChatGPT even knows me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Do you know who Frauditer Watch is? Yes. Frauditer Watch is a channel focused on monitoring and critiquing frauditors, quote unquote, individuals who film interactions with law enforcement and public officials, often claiming to challenge government authority or promote transparency. The channel provides commentary on these encounters and highlights any perceived misconduct or overreach by the frauditors. Thank you, ChatGPT.
It knows me too. Check this out.
Oh,
David E. Persons is a musician known for his work in genres like rock and Americana. He has released original music and often blends storytelling with musical composition. His style may incorporate elements of folk, country, blues, and rock, reflecting a diverse musical background. There you
go. It's very, very interesting. And, I guess if you're out on the internet just a little bit, it's going to find that information and then kind of give you a good little write-up. Hey, awesome.
That's kind of scary, actually.
It is kind of scary. Yeah, it is. But you know what? I'm probably just going to ask that question and use that in my bio. Do you know who Doc Lanu's Storytime is? Yeah, Rich. That does.
But you're a medical doctor, and you want to make everybody who doesn't do exactly what you say lose their. I'll shut up now.
Yeah, shut up now. You have to really read between the lines here.
Don't you guys know what today is? It's Repeat an Idiot Day. So I was repeating an idiot.
Yeah, you got to really read between the lines. Where are you getting all this information? Prince, were you in heaven before you were born and they yelled brains? You thought they said trains and you ran away? So, yeah.
Frauditer Watch, what time is it down there?
It is 6:05 in the morning.
6:05 in the morning. Yeah, man. And it's Sunday, right?
It's Sunday morning.
So what are the lottery numbers for tonight then?
Look, I've been sworn to secrecy about those ones. I keep getting asked that every time I go on a live stream. What's tonight's lotto numbers? I'm sorry, but I have been sworn to secrecy. I'm not even allowed to use them for myself.
Okay.
Wow, that's pretty secret.
But would you at least give it to Chris Ryder? Let him know, you're in the future. You know the lottery numbers. Would you give it to him so you can play them?
After all, there's a crime of.
No, definitely not.
No,
I wouldn't give the time of day to Chris Ryder.
You wouldn't, huh?
How about an elevator number?
Yeah, okay. I'll give him an elevator number. Hey, did you see my post on my Frauditer Busters channel?
I may have missed it.
I missed that too. Sorry.
That's all right. Otis is releasing a new set of elevators. They now have dual controls on them, one for dumbwaiter, one for everybody else.
And the bad thing about that whole situation, and I said this numerous times in the past, could I see someone of average intelligence getting on the elevator and getting stuck and might panic just a little bit? Yes, I can see that happening. I can see that happening. They did not realize it was a card reader elevator. I could see that happening.
Disagree.
Yeah.
Totally
What?
disagree with that. He was told.
He
that
was
all the
told.
elevators-
Yes. Now I will give you that. He was told that.
Since
there's
when has he listened to anybody about anything? You could tell him his underwear's on fire and he wouldn't listen.
no. Oh, what's that? Well, you wouldn't know it because lack of
brain cells.
well, not
That's
just
it.
brain cells, not just brain cells. Lack of things that might be in his pants.
But I mean,
I've heard that about him.
I mean, the stupid thing is, he gets in there, the door's shut, and the first thing he does is he hits the alarm button and goes, "It's locked me in. It won't let me do anything." And yet, on his video, he says he pressed every number. No, he didn't. He only pressed the alarm button and the door open button.
Mm-mm.
Now, all card reader or all security restricted access elevators that I know of, you always have one floor that is a free floor, and that's generally. Well, I mean, you guys, it's the first floor, which is the ground floor, street
Uh-huh.
level. Over here, it's obviously ground floor because that's what we call it, because that's what it is.
Right.
But yeah, that floor is free. Everybody can get to that floor, whether you've got access, whether it's a card access or not.
Right.
He didn't press number one. He just went, press the open door button. He's not authorized to get out of the lift at that floor. So the lift's not, or the elevator, sorry, is not going to open the doors, even if you push that button. However, if he had to push button number one, like security told him to start with, he would have got out, and
Right.
he wouldn't have been illegally detained in that.
Yeah,
elevator.
and that's kind of what got me. He went straight to that point. I was illegally detained.
Well, and it's Vintage Video and TV just said that he has the key to control every Otis elevator in Australia. I'd like that. That would come in handy.
Yes, it would. It definitely would.
Especially for Chris Ryder.
Yeah.
I wish that was the case. I mean, I've worked in, obviously working security. I've worked in places that have multiple elevators, and security does not have control over those elevators. The only people that can control those elevators are the fire department. And
Right.
that's only when they're on site, because they have the key that allows them to use the, like you go to an elevator and it says do not use in case of fire.
Right.
The fire department, they've got a key that overrides all controls on an elevator, so that they can use the elevator if they deem it safe, or if they need to evacuate, a handicapped person from a high level floor, they can use the elevators. Security can't control the elevators from their desks. It's just not done. And I mean, the other thing is, he goes, "Oh, I got trapped halfway between two floors." No, you didn't. The elevator didn't even move. If you look at the display on the elevator, it stays. On whatever floor he was on, LG or whatever it was, it stayed there. It did not move until he pressed number one after security told him to.
Right.
So,
Yes.
he was lying to everybody about everything on that. And I mean, his sheeple believed him, but what do you expect?
Well, yes. I mean, when you have a guy like Maverick or Tuberculosis TV or whatever he wants to call himself this month.
That dude is something else.
Oh yeah, and here's the thing: he has a very, very distinctive voice,
Yes, he does.
and you could hear the same voice with Maverick. And not only was he making this, talking and having the same voice, he was holding his signature mask as Maverick. And he's wondering why people say, "Well, we know what, you were Maverick." And somehow he thinks that people believe that he can take the bar without going to law school.
Well, you can do that in a couple of states, but you have to do a long internship, and you still have to pass the bar.
Right. Yeah.
I think California and Nevada and a couple others out west still have that where it's an option. There was one of the Kardashians, I think, was doing that. One of the Kardashian sisters.
Right.
No,
And I mean,
Paris Hilton's. One of the Hiltons, I think it was.
Right.
One of
Well,
them.
point being is, though, you will have to be working for an attorney for a long time,
Right.
learning
you
the
have
trade.
3-year residency or something.
Right. It's not just simply, yes, I'm open the book and I studied for the past 6 months to pass this bar. Doesn't work that way.
Well, you know the guy who, what was his name? The guy they based Catch Me If You Can on. What was his name? I can't think of it. Anyway, what was
Tom
it?
Hanks and Leonard Arnold did.
DiCaprio, but what was
Yeah.
his name? He was on the Tonight Show. He actually studied. You know, he was faking being a lawyer, and he actually studied for 3 months and went and passed the Louisiana bar with his fake name. I was impressed with that. I
Yeah,
thought that was just pretty darn good. That takes a lot of intelligence to do something like
that
that.
guy definitely was very intelligent. If you
What
saw
was
the,
his
I mean,
name?
I can't.
That's gonna
think
drive
of
me
it.
nuts the rest of the day. Hold on, I gotta look
Yeah.
that up.
All right. Well, because I mean, to pretend to be a pilot and wrote so many of the fake checks and get away with it so long. I mean, eventually it's going to catch up with you.
That's his
But
name.
this-
Frank Abagnale was his name, by the way. Frank
Yeah.
Abagnale.
Frank Abigail Jr.
Right.
Don't forget the
Yeah.
junior.
I mean, yes, he had to be very, very intelligent. And Vintage Video and TV did point out something. Looking up his state, which is Mississippi, the bar required you to attend a recognized law school. So he couldn't just, I'm going to take the bar because I worked with this attorney for the past 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years. No, you have to attend and graduate from law school.
Bar school.
Yeah, and bar school would be good too.
I'm sure a lot of law students have to go to bar school.
Yeah, I'm sure they did. They probably went to bar between school.
I was about to say the only bar that he's going to qualify from is the bar that serves Bud Light.
Right, that's true. All right, here it is. The following states you can take the bar exam without going to law school are California, Virginia, Washington, and Vermont. And they all have requirements. You have to complete at least 2 years of college, study in law for at least 18 hours per week for 48 weeks, and other stuff like that. I forget what the rest. Let's see. There's a couple others. Hang on. I think you have to have good moral character, that kind of thing. And then there are some also. There's 3 others that you can do an apprenticeship. Let's see here. They allow apprenticeships, and then you can take the bar. That's New York, Maine, and West Virginia. So there's more than I thought.
Yeah,
But they all have requirements like good moral character. You have to have at least 2 years of college. I think you got to have, like I said, 18 hours a week for 48 weeks. There's other things like that you have to do too.
right.
It's still not easy. And study law for 25 hours per week. In Vermont, you have to have a bachelor's degree and study law for 25 hours per week for 4 years. I assume that's while you're doing an apprenticeship or something.
Right. So, yes. So you're talking about someone that I don't even think he went to college.
Who? Dumbwaiter? I'd be surprised if he graduated high school.
Dumbwaiter did not graduate from high school. He, in fact,
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. I didn't graduate high school either, but I do have a couple of master's degrees to make up for it.
But here's the thing: what Dumbwaiter, when he left out of high school, he told his principal there is nothing else that school could teach him.
That's because he knows everything. Come on, man. What's wrong with you?
Well, I would probably almost agree with him on that because you kind of have to have a brain to learn too. So
Yeah. So that's he ran out of space, right? That's it.
yeah. So he ran out of space. So there's nothing else you can learn. You can learn.
Well, I want to bet he hops on this chat any second now and starts threatening to sue everybody.
I'm still waiting for my extradition orders.
Yeah.
Well, they're coming, man. They're coming. Watch out.
Oh yeah.
There's
I
a
mean,
truck
I've got
that
that many
pulls up
people-
about 7 o'clock this morning with three big guys in it. You'll know why they're there.
I've got that many people that are offered to show me around, Kentucky and Indiana while I'm there. I can't wait to get there, but he seems to be dragging his feet over it.
Yeah. I thought he was in charge of the FBI. At
Yep.
least the Indiana office. I thought he was the man in charge.
Yeah, they're going to nominate him as the next FBI director. You didn't hear about that?
Oh
God
yeah.
help us.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh.
He's going to
Well,
be in charge of the Division of Elevator Inspection.
Mm.
I wouldn't let him inspect a piece of blank A4 paper, let alone an elevator.
Well, I mean, the bad thing is, he did work construction. But more of a, I would say, more of a general handyman, not a contractor.
Well, he's got international clients, though.
He had international clients.
He was claiming the other week that he's got new contracts coming up.
And I'm the first person, and I have told Michael this. I've told Michael Kaiser this directly, that I think he really lambasts him too much because there's other things he could be talking about. But Ryder he asks for it. Everything that comes out of his mouth is whatever he wants to make up and make a reality at that particular point in time. I mean, it's just, it's almost impressive how well he can lie. It really is.
It is. Honestly, I do wonder if he believes what's coming out of his mouth.
I've wondered that too. There's some there's some psychosis going on there that.
Yeah.
There's something going on with that guy. I don't know what. I'm not a psychiatrist, but I would be willing to bet if they put him in a mandatory mental home, he would not get out anytime soon.
So I have to say this. I love this one. Lego is not construction.
Just saw that.
Wait a minute. What? Lego's not construction. I'm out of here.
Lego is not construction.
How dare you insult Legos like that?
So Lego is not construction. I just have to say this. Wait. Hang on one second. He just, guess what?
Are we live? What's up, y'all? Can you hear me? Put a one in chat if you can hear me.
You don't have to put, Chris, we can hear you. We can hear you just fine.
Hey, Chris, how's it banging? How stupid are you today?
Well, we're going to see if Chris can spell my name. Let's just see if he can spell it.
DOCLENAU.
Well, no. Come on now. My name's on the screen. I'm going to give you another chance. Okay.
Was J. Scarborough, SCARBOROUGH. And he is a really great guy. He's an elected official for Meade County, Kentucky.
Well, okay. Well, he didn't do what I asked you to do. He didn't try to spell my name, but he did say that JJ's a great guy. Everyone heard it, right? You heard it, right? Yeah, he said he's a great guy.
I think I actually used that in one of my videos too. Can't remember. I know I used a couple of his truths that he did actually end up telling some truths at one stage in one of his lives. Like he's not the brightest crayon in the box.
Mm-hmm.
Tiffany is the brains of the outfit.
And that is a scary thought too.
Yeah, but I mean, we're considering how low the bar's set, it's not going to be that hard. And there was one other. There was three truths he told in a matter of minutes on one of his live streams. And I thought, I've got to make a video on those.
And we really shouldn't sit here and just abuse the poor guy because I really at times question whether he knows. I don't know. He's kind of like, I put him in the same category with Glenn Serio and and Tyrants Beware and some of those other guys. I really seriously think they've got some mental problems that they don't really get it, that they're not all there. I mean, I don't have any other explanation, especially for Serio and Ryder. I mean, I just don't get it.
The scary thing is, though, in my opinion, and this is only my opinion, Tyrants Beware is more intelligent than Dumbwaiter.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, but that's not saying much.
Not by much.
I really feel sorry for them.
That's not really saying much because Tyrants Beware is actually doing things that's going to will be putting his family in some financial jeopardy.
That crap he pulled with KFAR Reacts was way, way out of line.
Yes, it was. It definitely was, and that's why I'm saying the stuff he's doing will actually put his family in financial problems. Not just
I was referring more to Serio and Ryder, but
yeah. And
Tyrants Beware is just mean.
Yep. And he thinks he's hiding from people, but he doesn't realize a lot of people know a lot more about him than he realizes.
Have you seen any of his latest videos?
I try to ignore him.
He's gone from having that static face mask on the side of his screen to some animated, robotic, scary thing. It's almost like the clown that comes out of the drain, scary type thing. And I see that and I just turn off now. I can't even bother looking at it. But it's absolutely ridiculous.
Well, all I can say is he really enjoys the attention he's getting from Chris Ryder. I really do believe that to be true.
That's sort of a really sick symbiotic relationship there. I agree.
Yeah. Oh, yes. And at the end of it all, I do believe Chris Ryder's going to do something that's going to put himself in prison if he hadn't already done so.
Hey, did you see the latest headlines up there?
John Paul Reyes, fugitive, almost 37 people to death. Gosh, I tell you, you got some of the meanest headlines.
But it's in the newspaper. It must be true.
It must be true. It's the Washington Post at that too.
Yeah, I mean, really, would they lie? No.
No.
That would have been better if it was the New York Times.
Yeah, that's true. That would have been better. Yeah. And you heard about this one, right?
Lucky laptop proven to be alien.
Alpha Centauri received for evidence.
I thought he was rejected by the aliens as well.
Well, it could be. That's probably why he's here.
Yeah. Lucky, I do think he's somewhat entertaining, but he ain't that. He's definitely not the sharpest tool in the shed.
Oh, Lucky's he's just following the crowd. If people were running up and down the street naked farting, he would do it just so he could fit in. I mean,
oh, thanks for that visual.
Yeah. And I always love this line. I got law books. And I'm so bad every time I hear him say that. The first thought that comes up, I got law books.
Your name is going on the lawsuit.
But every time I hear him say that, the first thing that comes to my mind is, but you have to be able to read the law books.
Yeah, that's true. That kind of lets him out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, he can still have the law books. It's just that he can't read them.
Right.
Now, if you put, could you imagine this? Lucky Laptops and Dumbwaiter together. Dumbwaiter does all the lawsuits. Lucky Laptops reading all the law.
Yeah, did you hear about this last one here? Chris Ryder just announced he's just going to sue everybody.
You might as well. Might as well.
Chris Ryder
Sure.
is suing everyone.
Yeah, he'll just show up to Thomas Clay office and say, just take the phone books, all the phone books in the country, and just put their names on the subpoena. Oh,
Yeah, but I'm surprised he knows what a phone book is.
well, okay, yeah. All right. I'll give you that. Are there still phone books out there?
Oh yeah, they still
Yeah.
there's some, I think. Good
We,
question.
we now get the option. We get the option over here, where I am, as to whether you want the phone book or not. So, but yeah, we still print them over here.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I don't recall seeing a phone book for, I don't know, 10, 12 years.
Now, you're in Perth, right?
Yeah, I'm in Perth.
I've got a friend down there who, in fact, he's going to do a live stream here in a couple hours on about pens that lives in Perth. It lives just outside of Perth, in I think it's Rockingham.
Oh yeah, down south. Where, yeah, it's about 30 kilometers south of Perth. Started off as a holiday type thing back in the very early days, and now it's grown. Got a Navy base down here.
I think, and he kind of lives out in the country. He says how they have problems with kangaroos coming up the yard during the night.
Oh yeah. We, believe it or not, some of the areas around Rockingham, Secret Harbour, Warnborough, and they're all like little suburbs in the Rockingham district. We have kangaroos on our front lawns if you live in the right areas. And
that is kind of cool.
I wouldn't say it's a problem as such. It's just, we are out in the sort of country area, the border of what would be classified in the early days as country area. And there's a lot of bushland, and that's their natural habitat. And of course, we're expanding it, removing it. So some houses do have kangaroos on their front lawn in the morning. The only hassle is their droppings. But, apart from that, I'd love to wake up one morning and see a kangaroo sitting on my front lawn. I reckon it'd be cool.
Yeah, I would think so too. And I think I just thought about this. Think about Australia and Florida. It seems like almost everything over there and everything over here wants to kill you.
No.
Alligators, crocodiles, the snakes, the
You Yanks are really pissing me off with that. Everything in Australia wants to kill you. Not everything in Australia wants to kill you. Come over here and actually learn something. Most of our snakes, I would rather take on one of our snakes than one of your rattlers.
Speaking as the guy from Texas in this group, I agree with him.
I would say this right now. I just don't want to mess with snakes. Period.
I prefer not to mess with them either. But I mean, over here we've got the brown snake. We've got, and all of these snakes are family members of the brown snake family. We've got jugites. Now they are a vicious snake, and they're a very toxic snake. We've got tiger snakes. But, at the end of the day, if you don't trap them, if you don't threaten them, they'll leave you alone.
Right. Yeah. And that is usually true with most critters.
Do y'all have king snakes in Western Australia? Do you have king snakes?
No, I don't think we've got king snakes over here. We've got the brown. We've got, as I said, the brown, the jugite, the tiger. We've got carpet pythons.
Mm-hmm.
My goodness.
But the tiger and the jugite, they're probably the two most dangerous ones. A brown snake, yes, is poisonous, is toxic. But as I said, I'd rather deal with those than deal with a rattler and some of the animals that you guys have got over there. I mean, I'd say ours are more tame than what yours are.
Yeah. Well, I will say this though, probably the most damaging animal you have over there is the bunny rabbit.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean the bunny the rabbit is not native to Australia. It was introduced.
No, it's not. It's not. It was brought in to kind of, if I remember the documentary well enough, because some ladies wanted to make Australia more like England. Of course, the problem with that is there's no critter over there that eats rabbit. So rabbits like to do one thing for sure: multiply. And they multiplied, and they ate everything in sight
quickly.
Yes.
Well, here in the States, Trotter Watch, we have something called kudzu, and that was started as a decoration for the side of the highways. And kudzu it's a plant. It's slowly taking over the world. It grows everywhere. It's awful. You have kudzu in Florida, right, guys?
Sorry, what?
Kudzu.
I never heard of a kudzu. What is
kudzu? It's the green plant that grows on the side of the road that overgrows everything.
I have
never heard of kudzu, really?
No, I have not.
Yeah.
Well, kudzu, it was originally planted on the side of the highway so that it would keep the dirt, like when they build up the dirt on the side of the highways to keep it from washing out. And it just went everywhere. It just started growing and growing and growing and growing. There's kudzu everywhere in Texas now. And fire ants and rattlers and water moccasins and copperheads.
Hey, Doc, I'll give you a bit of history. 1859, European wild rabbits were introduced to Australia so they could be hunted for sport.
Really?
Within 50 years, rabbits had spread across almost the entire continent with devastating implications for Australia's indigenous flora and fauna.
Wow.
That's how we got them. And we haven't been able to get rid of them since.
They are bunny rabbits. You're probably not going to.
Yeah. Well, and I did say we were going to keep this at an hour long today. Project Watch, thanks for jumping in. Appreciate it. I do have to cook dinner. And Bookie Worm, I'm sorry that I'm getting ready to jump out as you coming in. But I do have a nice dinner I'm planning to cook, and I'm going to be in the kitchen for the next hour or so. So, everyone, thank you for coming. Thank you for joining me. It's good to be back, getting my feet wet again. And David, thank you for joining.
We need to do this again soon.
We will. A lot of little things going on, a lot of projects going on around the house. So it's just kind of took me away from stuff. But I'm going to be coming back in. Expect some story at least within the next 2 weeks. I would get something going. I just have to get my feet. Yeah, got to get my feet wet again.
Yep. That's okay. Yeah. Take your time.
Yeah. But yes. And everyone have a great weekend. Enjoy your weekend. Please remember to vote. Do your research. Study your candidates. And make a decision that you feel is best for you. And as I said, vote and vote often. Have a great weekend. Take care.
See you later, guys.
See ya.